All right, you guys. Welcome back to Gomer's Knife Shop. Uh, I was gonna do a little bit of a review on this here Central Machinery Harbor Freight Special 1x30 belt sander. Seems like a lot of people are using some type of belt sander for uh, the purpose of knife making, whether it be something easy or their whole machine. For me, it's my whole machine. Uh, I put the bevel, the edge on it, put the bevel on it, sand Picasso and all that stuff with it. I put in some of the final um, sanding with it. I do quite a bit with this little belt sander. Uh, it is not for the faint of heart because it will hurt you. I don't really have any of the specs on this thing. I'm pretty sure that this is a third of a horsepower motor that's on here. It's a good sized motor. Now it won't do a whole lot of heavy stuff, um, but it will do for, you know, just making sure everything's done. You have to take your time with it. It's something that, you know, you can't really force a whole lot of stuff into it and expect it to keep up, because it won't. Um, this sanding belt was the original that come with it. Um, it's lasted a very long time. I'm on my third knife, which is this one right here. I'm on my third knife with that one. Um, but overall, this is a really decent machine. I picked this up on clearance because it was, I don't know. I seen one, went to Harbor Freight the other day and picked up some more sanding belts for it. Uh, I got some more 80 grit, and they give you a coarse 40 and 60, medium 80 to 100, a fine is 120 to 180, very fine is 220 to 240, and then 320 is extra fine. It's done quite well. I do like these belts, even though they are aluminum oxide. They last a very long time. I got an 80 grit, and I got a 120 grit, which that'll probably do, you know, everything I need it to. The 80 grit will leave some scratches in it, but it'll hog off the material, and I can go back with 120 and get it a little closer to where I want it to go. I did get some 40 grit sand and paper, uh, and it's done quite well. I'll take this here cover off so y'all can kind of see in here, see how it's set up, see if y'all like it or not. I know the light is kind of a bear tonight. Um, it has one big wheel and two carriers. Um, this in here stays semi clean. The thing that could make this a little bit better is they give you a hole here, but it will not fit a regular shop vac hole or hose. I'm sorry, it won't fit a regular shop vac hose. If you can kind of get it jammed in there, it'll keep it pretty well clean in there. It is of a simple design. The track as to which way the blade moves in and out is pretty easy adjusted right here. You have to look up in the top of this thing and see which way it's tracking on this top. If it's tracking one way or the other, you can adjust it down here, and it'll adjust and be in the center of that bearing. I'm not even sure what you call it. As it has a protected on and off switch, which I really like that, because man, if this thing don't get dusty, most of the time I try to have the shop vac hooked up to it to keep it going, keep the dust down, and so I can live a little bit longer, simple things like that. This table right here, it's a very small table. I don't think I've got a tape measure up here. Seems though I would have. I think I took it back down toward the house. That's okay. This table is very small. It's probably 4 or 5 inches wide by 4 inches wide. It's probably 5 by 4. This table being level back here, you have to take and actually square your sanding belt with the table, because if you don't, it won't be square. There's a little adjuster screw back here. I don't know if you can probably see that, can't you? There's a little adjuster screw in this hole right here that you have to screw in and out to actually get this thing square. Okay. Anyway, but just make sure you square this thing up. Just because if you don't, it's not going to be very square whenever you go to do anything like this. You'll have your one side off, and then you'll have almost like a beveled edge on it. But otherwise, it's a fairly decent belt sander. The specs on the side says 3,260 FPM, so I'm assuming that's feet per minute. That's probably how fast it goes. It's 120 VAC, but it plugs into just a regular outlet, 110 outlet. It's 60 hertz at 2 amps. So, but I'm pretty sure that's like a third of a horsepower is what it is. Which makes it not really powerful, but it's powerful enough to do light things with. Now, of course, you're not going to be doing a whole lot with it, but for knife making, works perfectly. Something that you can do as a hobby. Works very nice. It's a very constant machine. And I don't know, I'm fiddling with this mic now. We'll see how this audio turns out, because I don't really know. But it works very well. It does everything I need and then some. Like I said, the new model that they come out with, I'm pretty sure the only thing that I seen different was, instead of it being this color green, which is like an old school industrial type green. You see this green everywhere if you deal with old power tools or um, old wool presses, and I think this was even, it's very close to like I don't know if y'all ever watched those World War II um, videos with the ships, the aircraft carriers, and the warships and stuff. They actually had a machine shop in I would say like the belly of them, or on like a level, and because you're out at sea, you make whatever part you need, um, and you see a whole lot of that color on those type of machines. Um, I'm not even sure what color that is, but it's very compatible to that color. Like I said, the new model is black, um, but overall, it's been a very good machine. Like I said, it's done 3 of my knives, and I do that as a hobby. Now I have used it a little bit more than um, say for knives, but uh, it done a very good job on that. So, um, but yeah, that's kind of my point of view on this here Central Machinery 1x30 belt sander. Uh, if I have any more updates, I'll let you know. Till then, live life outdoors.